I love to spy. I love it. I don't understand why anybody would approach any market, any industry, any offer, any new campaign without first looking at what's already working. And it's so accessible. It's so accessible. There's so much information out there. That's actually what makes it hard. Is there's an overwhelming deluge of information out there. So what I want to do today is I want to go over my best, most favorite spy tools with you, for you, that you can use in order to see what other people are doing in your space. Now, a quick note about the paradigm to assume. The first one is don't just look at your straight middle of the road competitors. You should start there probably just to see what they're doing and maybe more importantly what they're not doing. And there's wisdom here, by the way, because there's something about creativity that kills us all. Very often, that great idea that you just can't believe nobody else has had, it's been had, tried, and failed multiple times. So I'm of the very firm opinion, and this isn't my quote, it's Onyx and Gall. He says that marketing is not a creative endeavor. Marketing is a data-driven endeavor with creative elements. Maybe that repels you. I don't care. I don't care. Because my way makes money. So you can be Don Draper, glass of scotch, sitting around whiteboarding things all day till you're blue in the face. Fine. But unless you allow for data-driven influence, you are always going to be at a disadvantage. And what that means is looking at what other people are doing and what's working for them. And so take what your competitors are doing and start there. Can you improve upon it? Iterate it. Go tangentially better than it. Yes. But the minute you start doing things that are massively far afield, I think you're putting yourself at a significant disadvantage unless it has to do with your business model or unique selling proposition. So, there's the whole Henry Ford thing. If I gave people what they wanted, I would have created a faster horse. Fine. But if you're selling horses, don't go advertising the automobile. Make sense? Cool. In order to see what's working with your competitors, you want to start using some of the software tools that are available to you. The first, not the best, but the first one that I would bring up is SEMrush. SEMrush. SEMrush is more expensive than I like to pay unless I'm using it on a daily basis. That said, it has more information than any tool in existence as far as competitor analysis. As a matter of fact, it's massively overwhelming, and you really have to go learn how to use SEMrush in order for it to be usable for you. Now, SEMrush is often looked at as organic first, which I don't know that I disagree with, but it has an amazing list of tool sets that can be utilized by paid advertisers in order to see what competitors are doing, and more importantly, how they're doing it. And I like to not only look at ad copy creative, which is fine, but that's just the first step. I like to look at destination URLs. I like to see where people are driving traffic, and SEMrush does a really good job at this. You can see competitor top performing pages, and when you can see somebody's top performing page, you get to see their offer, you get to see their funnel, you get to maybe funnel hack, you get to see their one-time offers, OTLs, upsells. I like knowing where traffic is going after the fact, because the ad, I hate to say this, but I feel like it's true. That's the easy part. And it's getting easier now that Google's actually writing our ads for us. So SEMrush, amazing tool, worth playing with. They've got a great free trial. Go mess around with it. They also have a feature set that is like, it's not just breadth, it's also depth. So I'm a pretty big fan of SEMrush. Next up on my list, iSpionage. Now, the iSpionage data is massively unreliable. Massively unreliable. When I was spending $20,000 a month, iSpionage says we were spending $200,000. Now that I'm spending $200,000 a month, iSpionage says we're spending $20,000. And they never get it right, ever, for me or any of my clients. I have 200 clients, and I can pipe in any one of those clients, and the spend data that iSpionage offers is not just wrong, but it's not wrong in a way that allows for consistency. If I'm like, oh, iSpionage is always 10% of the truth or half of the truth or whatever, well, then I can factor in what the truth really is. But my experience so far has been that they're just massively off. That said, I really like the market trends information that they offer, because that does seem to be a little bit closer. They have a better sense as to, generally speaking, when industries are moving or what's happening or what's changing. And I like some of the screen grabs that you get from competitor ads. They're obviously going against Google's terms and service. There's no way Google wants them doing this. But they have this ad effectiveness index algorithm, and they're telling you what they think ads are working. And I think it's probably based off of how long that ad has been running and how much market share it's capturing, because money is intelligent and nobody will be spending massive amounts of money on ads unless they were performing. And so iSpionage has a proprietary algorithm that'll tell you what ads are working the best, and you can see your competitors' best performing ads, which should help inspire your own creative. Now, iSpionage has massive blind spots. There are industries that you're like, man, this is a really small industry. Why do you know this much about, vegan leaf blowers? And it's just like a whole crazy library of nothing but vegan leaf blowers. And then on the other end, you're like, why do you know nothing about car insurance? Where is this? And I can't speak to that. It obviously has to do with their own internal system. But for all of its failings, it's a great tool, super inexpensive, really worth playing with, really worth looking at. Next up, SpyFu. SpyFu, the founders are actually right here in Scottsdale, Arizona, homegrown. And SpyFu is a lot like SEMrush and iSpionage. It's something of a Me Too software. The thing that I really like about SpyFu, though, is it has look-back capabilities that the other products either don't have or don't have well. And it has historical data on certain markets that goes back years. So what's really cool is when you can see what somebody's been doing for years, you can see a trend in their iteration, which means you can see them starting, I threw spaghetti against the wall and then I started to figure out what works. And I think that those iterative trends, if you're really paying attention and you're doing the work and the deep dive, they can be massively, massively helpful. So check out SpyFu specifically for the look back. It's not applicable to every industry. You have to go see if SpyFu has data on your industry. And if they do, great. And if they don't, you're SOL. Last but not least, PPCAdLab. It's owned by my buddy, Rob Warner. This thing is cool. Not an affiliate. I should be. Rob, you should be paying me money, bro. What is going on? Why are you not sponsoring my YouTube channel? Let's talk. Just kidding. But really, PPCAdLab is cool because it allows you to monitor specific search terms in specific geographic regions on a daily and or hourly basis. And then you literally screen grab what's happening within that analysis. It's unbelievable. So like every hour, I'm betting on arborists in New Jersey. So I want to screen grab everybody who's going after any of these arborist search terms every hour in this specific geography. And now I get to see a sense of the competition, who's offering what, and when they're getting the most competitive, which again, lets me know when they think the most effective time to bid is, especially because for older school industries, people are optimizing based off of dimension, which I actually think is a flawed model, but knowing what your competitors are doing in that arena can't hurt. So PPCAdLab, super cool piece of software. It has a bunch of other features too that I don't even know about. I know he's been adding lists, but the competitor analysis for me is worth the cost of admission. It's crazy cheap. And what's cool is you don't just get to see their ads. PPCAdLab shows you their landing pages, which again, I think is more important than the ads themselves. So some spy tools. Google also just rolled out their Google Ads Transparency Center. I shot another video on that. That should be live on our YouTube channel shortly if it's not already, so you should check that one out too. But I would love to know from you, what tools do you use to spy on your competitors? Anything that I haven't mentioned here, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Always need more tools. And other than that, I'll see you tomorrow. Imagine a spy tool that allows you to see the ads your competitors are running, when those ads are being run, where geographically they're being run, which ones are working and which ones aren't. I give you the Google Ads Transparency Center, which I didn't know launched, by the way. They launched it very quietly, late March of this year. I was pinged on Twitter by my buddy